And there's a lot that you can say about the Israelis and the things that they do. And something as simple as, the other thing, Jen, about their culture is their pettiness. The pettiness, probably because they don't really have a culture, everything is stolen. And this leads us to Ben and Jerry's ice cream. And Ben Cohen and Jerry Steinfeld have made it very clear that they wanted to get their company back because
Jerry
they didn't like
who?
what. How do you say?
I don't know, but you made it sound like it was Jerry Seinfeld.
No, Jerry Steinfeld, I think wasn't that his? What's
Jerry?
Jerry?
That's funny because I only know Ben Cohen because I just know that name more, but he's been on our show, guys. If you don't know, Ben has been a guest on our show.
Yes, and it was a great conversation.
Well, and for me, it was like a big moment because I've been a fan of that brand now I can't eat it anymore. Now it's ruined because Unilever had to go and fuck it all up. Had to fuck it all up.
So they decided to sell off a portion of their company to Israel because Ben and Jerry did not want their their product being sold in Israel. And so as a result, they to kind of stick it to Ben and Jerry's because Unilever gave them the freedom to create their own Ben and Jerry's. So they're basically stealing the Ben and Jerry's name and selling it in Israel. The lack of irony on this person, this lady who's going to share their sentiments about what they're doing here, it should not be lost on anybody.
You heard of Ben & Jerry's new Zionist ice cream flavor? A new Ben & Jerry's flavor is offering Israelis a taste of the promised land. You may be thinking that the flavor and the Star of David-shaped chocolate chunks throughout it are a strange choice for Ben & Jerry's, a company that's known for its pretty staunchly leftist positions.
Is this real? Because that just almost feels like an Onion video.
Oh, no, this is real.
Oh my God. It almost feels like something that they did to say fuck you to Ben for standing up and being so outspoken. So they're like, okay, we'll show you what we'll do with your ice cream if you're going to criticize what we do.
Oh, yeah.
The company's founders, Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield, have been outspoken opponents of the occupation of the Palestinian territories. Just last year, Cohen even announced a watermelon-flavored Peace in Palestine-themed treat. But when it comes down to it, this milk and honey flavor only really exists because of the opposition from the original Ben & Jerry. In 2021, they moved to ban the sale of their ice cream from West Bank settlements. Its parent company, Unilever, tried to block this boycott. This culminated in a lawsuit by Ben & Jerry against the conglomerate, alleging a silencing of the brand's activism. Jerry Greenfield, the second co-founder, even resigned. While all this was going down, Ben & Jerry's Israel distanced themselves from the international brand. Unilever sold the country's branch to the Israeli licensee, who now operates the Israeli brand independently.
Okay, so get a good look. Get a good look. Get a good look. Because they all look alike. They all look alike. They really do. So here he is.
Unilever sold the country's branch to the Israeli licensee, who now operates.
Avi Zinger. What a name. So there you go, guys. There's your
we are now officially have to boycott Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Like, I knew it wasn't as good. I knew that there was stuff about it that was like, this guy is going to help ruin that brand just globally, even though they're saying he owns it in the genocidal entity.
And is there anything to the fact that their flavor is milk and honey? Like, is there anything to that?
Of course.
Okay. Can you explain?
Well, that was always referred to as the land of milk and honey. I mean, that's almost like this biblical phrase of that area of the Levant is the land of milk and honey, and like the Canaanites and the Israelites and all that was the whole thing, was the land of milk and honey. But what made the milk and honey happen were the Palestinians. See, the people that lived there created that from being like shepherds and all sorts of like permaculturists and being able to do so much stuff in the land like that. Like, yes, it's the land of milk and honey, Bible-wise.
They are I mean, again, it's a test of what else can you say? I mean, it truly is.
It's the Israeli brand independently. They keep the same recipes and raw materials as before, they just don't have any financial or business ties to Ben & Jerry's International. This means that Milk and Honey is an Israel-exclusive flavor from an Israel-exclusive brand. It just happens to share the name, flavors, and overall branding as the one started by a couple of Jewish radicals in Vermont.
It's very unfortunate, but now they're going to have to learn. So now what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to boycott Ben & Jerry's everywhere globally. And they're going to realize that this douchebag who owns the brand there is bringing them down. That's just what's going to have to happen.
They say it so unironically. It's incredible. She's like, well, we do the exact same thing, only we make it Ben & Jerry's Israel, and they can't do a thing about it. La, na, 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 na. Like, that's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right. A little bit more.
What are you doing?
I'm about to take lactose pills.
This is really annoying. This is annoying the out of me. I do not like this.
Another one who looks like she's allergic to the sun.
She had to take lactose pills. You know why? Because really humans are not meant to actually ingest cow milk. So when humans ingest cow milk, and now some of us have gotten more used to it than others over many centuries, but it's not really for us. It's really meant for baby bovine. And yeah.
It is unfortunate. And this is what their culture is known for. Their culture is known for stealing other people's ideas and claiming them as their own, just as they claim that their Mediterranean cuisine is their own, when in reality, they stole it from basically all the surrounding nations in the Mediterranean, claiming that it's there.
It's here. It's correct on one point. It is the food from that region.
Oh, yeah.
That's just not their region. So yes, technically, that's the food from there. Those are just not the people from there. That's the problem. It's just not their food. But yes, all of that is very authentic Mediterranean, Levant, Palestinian food.
Should that come as any surprise, though? That's the question.
No, well, they stole everything.
And speaking of food, because this is just a great example, and it's somewhat of a Zio Hunter type situation here. Incoming dad joke: if I stole all the food from around that area, I'd falafel about it. I don't get it.
I'd feel awful about it, is what it's supposed to say. Feel awful about it.
I feel awful about it. Yeah, I feel awful about it. Now, this is Israelis stealing from somebody else. Israelis also don't like when they see other people in other countries that they invade representing the Palestinian cause.
No.
That's not a good thing. Evidently, a couple of, how we talked about the IOF soldiers needing to do yoga to center themselves. Killing babies is a hard thing to live with. And so they decided when they were on holiday in Spain, they didn't like showing up at one of the food trucks that was displaying the Palestinian flag. So a food fight ensued.
Where is this?
I don't know.
Need to know.
So I know it's in Spain. I just don't know
Okay.
if it's in Madrid or in Barcelona, but You know, they're in a very populated
Barcelona.
area. I'm sorry?
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay. And so they are slowly but surely going to realize, if they don't already, that they are not welcomed anywhere. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants to deal with them. And the fact that they get agitated to this extent because they saw that they had the Palestinian flag displayed. And we know that this is what triggered them because we've seen it before. They freak out when they see the Palestinian flag.
They freak out when they see watermelons. So they're scared of fruit.
The entire world will hopefully be turning against them, but
Where's people in this scene? I'm a little bit perplexed because I've been to Spain and I like this kind of shit would have been put down by locals so fast. Like, I'm just surprised that.
Well, it's in a very touristy area, which is probably why it isn't like that. That's why it was so easily captured. But the idea that they probably said something to him. They probably went up to them. They said, you should take that down. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, no, we're free Palestine. We're Israelis. And he's probably like, fuck you guys, get out of here. And you know what they probably did? They probably went up. This is full circle. This is just like Poetica Coffee. They showed up at this food truck. They said, we want food. They saw the Palestinian flag. They made a comment. They said they were Israeli. The guys who run it said, get out of here. We're not serving you. And they're like,
probably turned him away. Yeah.
They turned him
away. I'm just surprised that this went on for even as long as it did with the throwing the stools and stuff without people jumping in. I'm just surprised.
Well,
like if this were South Florida, I would expect it. In South Florida, I would expect it. Nobody would jump in or help anybody.
Well, you can see here at the end. Like there are guys that jumped in to stop it, but they didn't get in there to basically beat the ever-loving shit out of the Zio scum, which is what they should have done. It's unfortunate that they didn't. But this, again, is just another reflection of how they...
Right? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And, Colin, I know I asked you to pull it before, but you know what? You can pull up the Brian Mast clip now if you want to.
Oh God, you really want to get me enraged. You're really pushing.
This is necessary because the one thing we know about this is that
hold on, I gotta grab more weed. So
the person in question that went up to Zio bastard Brian Mast, who called.
All right, hold on. I'm not ready for that yet. The
only person that is, well, again, you've got the three worst Congress people in Florida all along like this one direct corridor along the eastern seaboard. You've got Randy Fine, you got Wasserman Schultz, and you've got this guy who shows up on the House floor in an IDF uniform.
Which honestly, I really feel like that is somehow very traitory. I know that, right? Like it's just something is very off. If somebody showed up on the congressional floor, on the House floor, wearing a Russian military uniform, I don't think it would go over well. I'm just saying, I don't think it would go over very well.
Well, here we go.
How do you feel about the amputees in Gaza and in Lebanon that the United States tax dollars are creating? I see you're an amputee yourself.
A lot of those amputees blew themselves up messing with explosives.
What are you talking about?
Do you even know? They should have been better bomb techs.
That is so ignorant of you to say. What about the Lebanon pager attack?
They were.
What about the pager attack?
Working with.
What about the pager attack?
Was one of the best attacks I have ever seen.
Like that takes real balls. And this is a sitting congressman. See,
I actually think maybe he lost more than his legs, and that might be part of his problem.
Maybe he doesn't have a dick.
I don't know. I let me tell you, because this guy.
It wouldn't surprise me in the least.
I can't help it. I just fucking can't with this man.
You're absolutely
when they put the
disgusting.
explosive-
You're disgusting.
when
What if
they-
your legs were the ones that got cut
My
off?
legs did get cut off, but if you think I'm disgusting, why don't you do something about it?
Why don't I do?
I guarantee you that whoever this guy is, first of all, you can tell that the guy who's addressing him is very young. Probably either a teenager, young adult, somewhere in that range. And I also guarantee you that by the angle that he's holding the camera,
He's way shorter.
way shorter and way smaller than him.
Uh-huh.
See, he's
But
really
that's not the point. That's not the point. See,
Is
see
it
this,
though?
this is a very small man thing to do. Again, small male thing to do. Because when your first reaction to just somebody questioning you is to fist fight,
it's
like
violent.
that's your reaction to it. This is the bullshit that I'm talking about when we talk about like the problem of what's masculinity. It isn't that it's the men, it's the men using that. This guy. That's the shit we're talking about. This is some bullshit. We can't have a discussion. So I'm going to get out of the car and I'm going to show you how to, like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Something about
Yeah.
it. I think you're disgusting. I
Do
think you're a
something about it.
fascist.
Do something about it.
I'm going to use my First Amendment right. That's what I'm doing.
You can do
Unlike
that too.
you, who's a militaristic pig, wants to choose
Do
fighting.
something about it.
Wants to choose fighting because that's what you are. That's
Do
who
something
you
about
are.
it. Come on.
You're an amputee, and you don't give a shit about amputees in
I
Gaza.
absolutely do.
In Gaza, you care
But
about
I was
them?
really happy to see the ones that got blown up by the pagers. That
You're
was a
absolutely
really good one.
disgusting.
So do something
That
about it.
That was the biggest disabling event
you're not gonna do
in
anything
recent
about it.
history.
You're
Of
not
course,
gonna
I'm
do
not going to do
Come
anything about it. This is a free country, and I have the
It
right
is.
to tell you,
You
a
have the
shitty
right to speak. You have
congressman,
the right to speak, but come on, do something about it.
what am I going to do about it?
I mean, you could try to
This
do
is
anything. You're not gonna be
absurd.
successful.
Do something about this is a congressperson.
Jen,
I-
would you like to explain to Hot Dog why is he wearing shorts?
I have some theories. Okay. Now, my theory is that he lives off of the fact that he's a double amputee. That's who he is. He wants to use that for all that it's worth. And look, whatever, but I'm sure he would say something like, well, my prosthetics and the calves are thick and I can't get the pants to fit right. And there's a bullshit. He wants to constantly be wearing the fact that he's an amputee. But I do think it's fitting to him because he is a little man and he should be wearing shorts. So the short pants are actually very appropriate for this little person. So
the thing about him, because of the way he's clearly talking to this young man who's much smaller than he is, I wonder if you got in his face, if he would threaten to get physical with you. Because, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me.
well, that would be interesting. Well, I could see him. Look, this is somebody that would not surprise me was a wife beater and did shit like that.
No,
This is somebody who clearly had a psychotic
He's psychotic.
amount of
He's-
like anger. He's
Absolutely. Well, like I said, he hates the world because he's a cripple for the rest of his life. And
no, he hated it before. And this
Probably.
is one of those things we talked about with Matt Ho, because Matt was very clear that people like him existed when he was serving. Like there were people that were just like there were plenty of people that were in there because they're like that.
Why would I intimidate an elected official?
Well,
You're
you don't
disgusting.
intimidate me in any way.
Why
I
are
worry
you
about
trying to
about
instigate a
About
fight?
as much as I worry about a cloudy day is about as much as I worry about you.
You know what? I don't give a shit if you worry about me. You also
course
don't
you
get
do.
worried
You care.
about
That's why you're
Israel
here asking
taking over
questions.
this country.
You
You
care.
want Israel to take
If you
over
didn't
this
care,
country.
you wouldn't
You're an
be here.
amputee
If you didn't care, you
who
wouldn't be
doesn't
here.
care about
You wouldn't be
amputees.
here on your
You do not care
recording me.
about the rights of
That's why
people
you
who
care,
have been
'cause you're here.
disabled.
So,
As a civilian,
Of course I do.
Do you care about civilians being disabled?
Absolutely.
You do? What about in Gaza? You said you praised the attack.
I speak to people.
You
all
said
the
you
time
praised the
that get
pager
this
attack.
because it killed terrorists.
It
That's
also
why.
killed innocent people.
Nah, it killed terrorists.
No, it
It
just
killed terrorists, and it did an excellent
innocent
job at
and
killing
innocent
terrorists.
people.
It
What about
really,
the
you know,
innocent
just
people? Isn't one too
incredible
many
job,
when it's
incredible
hundreds,
job of killing
thousands?
terrorists, and a lot of the bombs.
Thousands of
incredible
civilians?
Job of killing terrorists.
Thousands
Really did
civilians?
an excellent job. And I'm for killing terrorists.
How'd you lose your legs?
I love killing
How'd you
terrorists.
lose
It's a
your
great
legs?
part of my life.
How'd you lose your legs?
Killing terrorists.
Killing terrorists? So you lose them again because you just love killing brown people.
Oh, I would absolutely lose my legs again if it meant protecting my country from terrorists. 100%.
You know that he's like in purgatory. Like he is living in his own personal hell, and he doesn't. And the fact that he has a congressional seat is even more incredible. And the guy that ran against
That's
him,
what I was saying. Satanic Talmudic Jew. That's what I was saying.
I think he probably.
But again, I also think he very well could have been psychotic in the military.
Mhm.
So yeah.
But it would not surprise me at all if he, even if he didn't lose it, he no longer has use of it. Like, to me, I think that that's very possible.
But you think
So-
innocent civilians are terrorists?
So I think
You want to fight an
terrorists
American
that go
citizen
out there
because I believe a
and
different
set
opinion
off
than you.
bombs
They're not
and
setting off bombs.
fire
The people that are
rockets
setting
and,
off bombs are the Israeli government in their pager attack.
setting off bombs on terrorists, which was
Not just terrorists.
beyond beautiful. So
First off, glory to Hezbollah. Second off,
glory to Hezbollah. Was
glory
his
to
statement.
Hezbollah. That's what I'm going to say to you.
Glory to Hezbollah was
Yeah.
this guy's statement.
Resistance
So-
is justified when people are occupied, and you should be disgusted.
Sir, he's got a meeting.
He can leave at any point. He's already tried to fight me. He wants me to fight
I
him.
invited you to do something.
He's
about it.
invited. You
Absolutely.
hear that?
You don't
That's
wanna do anything
instigation.
about it? That's
I would
okay.
never do that. I am a
Just
peace
carry on.
activist.
Carry on for
I have
me.
a right to stand here, and I have a
do?
right.
Do you
I
know-
have a right to stand
He
here.
has a
Do you know
meeting
my
he has to
stance
go
on
to.
Then get
Hamas?
in the car and go away. I will not impede
Do
the
you know
car.
my stance on Hamas?
What is your stance?
That we stand on their throat.
You know, I hope that you are, you know,
What do you
like,
hope?
I hope that you lose everything that you have because you are a satanic creature.
Thank you.